Hi everyone, and welcome back to another tutorial. This week I'm going to try something different, well not different, but something a little bigger, so on the larger scale. As you can see behind me here, don't know if you can see that, turn the camera, yeah. So I have a nice wide panoramic canvas and I've masked it off with some masking tape, and it's going to be a seascape. A lovely seascape with I suppose it's almost like a little bit of a sunset in the sky. It's not a sunsetty sky, but the sun is going down. And there's a lovely kind of a splashdown hitting a rock and coming up towards your face, towards the camera. Do you understand what I mean? With a lot of little rocks then in the front, catching the lovely sunlight from the sun. So that's my idea for this week. Let me just move this camera here. Sorry, one sec. Let me get this camera. No, that's better. I was going to do like a subject or something, like a building or something along those lines, where I thought I saw this on my Facebook page, and Ness, you know who you are, Ness, had this, who's a follower of mine actually. She put it up on her Facebook page and it just kind of caught my eye straight away. I thought, oh god, this would be lovely, this would make a lovely tutorial. So I asked her permission if I could do a tutorial on this, and she said yes, no problem. So Ness, I hope you don't mind, I'm doing a tutorial on your lovely seascape, okay? Thank you so much for your permission. I really hope you don't mind, because I know it's not nice if somebody else kind of takes your ideas that kind of a way. I don't mind sharing my pictures and my tutorials for people to copy. I want everybody to learn something. Do you understand? So it's okay, but some people kind of might be a little bit apprehensive, especially if you go to a lot of trouble to take a photograph of a particular place, for somebody else just to copy it. So I'm glad that you gave me permission, Ness, and I hope you like it. I hope it turns out well. I'm a little bit apprehensive about this, about the kind of splash hitting, kind of coming up towards the camera, as opposed to just going out of the picture into the sky or something. So it's going to be a little tricky, but I'm going to have a bit of fun with it. And well, look, we just enjoy it. And it's a nice wide panoramic view for a change. So this is going to be doing two parts. It's going to be done in two parts. I will only be able to do part one this week, as it's such a big canvas. But we can take our time and we'll just have a bit of fun. And look, if you even want to simplify it, you can just simplify it. You can just take a little section of the painting and try it yourself if you're not that confident. But you will learn a lot about painting splash on waves, and you will learn a lot about painting rocks, particularly round kind of smooth rocks with some sunlight catching them. So that's the theme for this week. I hope you like it. Get your stuff ready and let's go. Let's have a bit of fun with this. The camera will be zoomed back quite far so that you can get my palette. You see it there? So the camera is going to be zoomed right back, way up behind me here, so you can see the canvas and my mixing. And when I get to kind of the more detailed work, then I will zoom in on that section for you. I think that might work best. So let's go. I'm excited. I have my cup of tea here. Look, my little cup of tea with my unicorn mug, which my daughter gave me for my painting. So that's it. I hope you like it. Let's have some fun. Okay, let's go. Here it is, my big huge canvas. Now, to be honest, I'm not even sure what size this is. I think it's 30 inches by 15 or something along those lines. All right. Or it could be 14, maybe 30 by 14. I'm guessing. So that's it. I put a bit of masking tape across my horizon line, and it's just below centre. I would always put the masking tape either just below centre or above centre. Right in the middle just doesn't look right proportionally for some reason when painting. I'm sure there's reasons now which I could go into a lot of detail about, but I don't want to. I'm not big into these kinds of explanations. But I'm just, it's just me. I'm an honest painter. I paint, have a bit of fun. I don't like to get too technical when painting. That's just me. That's who I am. I leave that to the guys in college and all the professors and all that kind of stuff. So here we go. My colours. I have my paper palette. I have titanium white, which I will probably need way more than that. I have Naples yellow, some cadmium yellow, some magenta this week, just for one or two little colours. I have lots of burnt umber, a little bit of phaylo blue, a little bit of crimson, a little bit of sienna, and a little bit of black. Now, I am going to need a lot more white than that. That was just a piece of white that I scraped off of my palette just a minute ago with my palette knife, my wooden palette. So I'm going to put a lot more white up there now. We're going to need a lot of white for this painting. And I have a little bit of turpentine with some linseed oil mixed in. And it's probably, I would guess, 80-20 turpentine and linseed oil. Okay? It just helps, and look, there's no smell, there's hardly any smell off of this really, to be quite honest. If you're working indoors and you keep a window open, you'll be fine. You can buy low odour thinners, which do work as well, but I find it just doesn't it doesn't burn or bite through the paint as much as the regular turpentine. I just like the feeling of normal turpentine with a little bit of linseed oil in it. It kind of cuts into the paint just nicely. So yeah, that's it. I just kind of like to use normal regular materials as opposed to buying lots of different types of mediums and that kind of thing. So there we go. I have brushes. I have my set of stubby brushes, and I get asked a lot about this. Okay, now there's another one, a little round brush as well, which I might add to my collection. A nice little pointy stubby brush. These are my regular stubby brushes. This is my large one. It's fairly splayed out now at the moment for trees and stuff because it's worn in, but it kind of looks a little bit like this when it's new, so you can see the difference, and it'll get worse and worse and worse, and the more it gets worse the better it is for trees and bushes, that kind of thing. So these are my stubby brushes, large, medium, and I also have a small stubby brush here somewhere. Let's see if I can find that now. Where is it? Where is it hiding? There it is. Little flat brushes, okay? And if you want some, just let me know, I can send them to you, no problem. But they're lovely, they're a lovely size, and you can kind of hold them in the cup of your hand like that, you see? As opposed to having big long handles sticking out. There's a lot more control, do you know what I mean? So they're brilliant for that. Anyway, enough of me yabbering on for 10 minutes. Let's get painting. There's a photograph. Now I may have to cut through the sky just a little bit with the photograph, just a little, but you can get the idea. Nice bright blue sky here will fading down into a very bright yellow sunset. And this will be a nice one now to show you how to avoid getting greens. We have a blue and a yellow, and where they meet there's always a chance of a little bit of green. Now in the colour, on the photograph there you can see there is a very slight little hue of a green there. But I might try to avoid that as best I can, okay? Yeah, let's get started. A lot of detail down in the foreground. It's probably more about the foreground than it is about the sky. And lovely splash coming up here then. I might even make the splash a little bit more prominent. Alright, that was a long speech, wasn't it? I need a sup of tea. Okay, let's go. Are we ready? I'm going to dampen my brush, dip it in there and your turpentine and just dampen it and dry it off on some tissue just a little, because we're going to need a lot of paint for this, mixing a lot of paint, okay? So I'm going to start with the blue up in this corner. I'll take some white, a lot of white there, and I will take a little touch perhaps of phaylo blue, and not too much now. And then into that I'm going to take, and looking at the picture now, it's not a very rich blue, it's almost like a greeny earthy kind of a blue, so I might take a touch of Naples yellow, and the Naples yellow will really tone this down now. And now you can see that's going green, okay, it is, but not to worry, I'm just going to add a little bit more blue into that, and that'll make a nice soft earthy kind of a blue. Now let me just try that. Okay, a little bit more blue I would say. I'll take little bits at a time. It's much easier to start off little and work your way up, rather than just going right in for loads of blue. Because believe me, you will use a fortune of white paint trying to bring your mix back up brighter again. Now I go to about there, and I go to about there. It's only one corner, isn't it? And I've primed my canvas twice, so you can see it's lovely and smooth, and the paint flows lovely across the canvas. Okay, I'll leave it at that. I might make it slightly little bit bluer just in the very corner there, just to indicate a very rich blue sky kind of going off into a sunset. So yeah, that'll do me fine. Perhaps just that little bit more. I do want to make the colours nice and rich in this painting. Okay, I'm going to dip this in my turpentine right in once and let the tissue soak off the paint rather than swishing it around. So when I clean my brushes, I don't go in and swish it like this. I just dip it in once and put it onto my tissue and let the tissue soak up all of that paint out of that brush, you see? It's pretty much clean, and I maybe do it once more, just once more. Let the turpentine run through the brush like that, and then leave it soak off into your tissue. There we go, and then it's clean. And you see, the turpentine is still clean, it's completely clear. Well, 90%, mostly clear. And it's just saves you a lot of turpentine, that's all it is. Okay, moving on now to a very nice bright yellow here. Okay, let's just go for it, yeah? Let's just go for it. Let's pick up lots of white down to a clean part of our canvas, or palette here. And let's take some cadmium yellow. And let me see, what else do we have? I'm going to take a touch of Naples as well, just to take the harshness out of the yellow. It is quite kind of bright in the centre, isn't it? So let's just put it in the centre for now. And I want to start warming it then very slightly. I may take a little, let me see, I might try a tiny bit of crimson, and you see that's a bit much now. Let's just grab more yellow, and that'll make a more orangey sort of a colour. Okay, and then take a little bit more white into that, so that'll lighten it up a little bit. Now I know it's not this orange on the photograph, but I'd like to kind of keep it nice and warm and rich just down at the bottom of the sky. Now it's getting quite dry because I've no turpentine. I'm just going to dip this corner in some turpentine just to lighten it very slightly, or just to moisten it very slightly, okay? And that will help it go a lot further as well. Oh, there we go now. And as it comes up then it gets very bright and white up here, doesn't it? It's still a little bit on the warm side here in this corner, so I'll just put a little bit of warmth there. Now I'll dip it in, dry it on my tissue again, not completely, and take loads more white. Don't be afraid not to tackle this. I know it can look complicated on video, but honest to God, it's much easier than you think. Just try it. It's only paint. And look, who knows, I will make a total mess of this. And if I do, I'll just wipe it off, or I'll go back over it again. Not to worry, it's not the end of the world, it's only a bit of paint. Okay, now, I'll go into some white, because I already have a little bit of yellow in my brush. So just white on its own. And I'm getting closer now to this blue. So this is where you might start getting a little apprehensive and a little worried, but don't. I'll take some more white on my brush, and I'll come over here, and I'll just fill all this in, and then soften it down into the yellow then, see? Okay, that's that. Let me just go up and finish off this corner here, soften everything along here like that. Okay, as you can see, I'm leaving the last piece in where they meet, and for that I might just basically take a little bit of white. Now you probably will end up with a little bit of a greenish hue going on, but don't worry, we'll fix it. It will be natural for there to be a little bit of a very pale green up in the sky, because even in real life, if a blue sky goes to a yellow sky, there may be a tiny hint of a very pale green, because that's the way colours mix naturally. So let me just go along now with a big band of white right along where they meet. Just pick up some white on its own, and look, go along right where they meet with some white, and then dry your brush, keep it nice and dry, clean off of that colour. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to soften the yellow part up into the white, like so, look. Soften the yellow part back into the white slightly, like that. Then clean your brush, just give it a wipe on some tissue again. Then I'm going to soften the blue part into the white, nice and gently, not too much now. And try to avoid going down into that yellow as much as you can. Okay? Now we want that to graduate a little bit more, don't we? Because you can see it kind of a solid line. So I'm just going to take some more white and just go along right with their meat. See? Soften it upwards. And then come down very gently into the white and the yellow. So now, it's starting to merge without going green, isn't it? So I just put a little band of white right across where they meet. And I really am hoping now that there's no green in this. I did expect a little tiny bit of green, but to be honest now, not a lot. So it seems to be okay so far. Okay, let's go along here. I won't pull that blue across it into the yellow as much as I can. I try to avoid it. You could even put a little bit of pink into that if you wanted. That would neutralise the green, but there is no pink on the photograph, and I don't know if pink would work well in this scene. So I try and keep it as close to the photograph as I can. Do you know what I mean? Okay, now let me stop for a moment and take a quick look. Sit back and take a look at that. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. Not too bad at all, yeah. Okay, I'm happy enough with that. Right, I just want to go along the bottom here and put a nice bit of warmth along the bottom. I'm going to take a little touch of burnt sienna and a tiny bit of yellow, and I'm just going to go along the very bottom. I can see a little bit of a hue down at the bottom, it's very warm kind of a hue, which is very nice. And I'm just going to go along the bottom there with that. It's kind of off in the distance, isn't it? I like it, it's quite nice. Soften it just along the bottom, where it meets the ocean. Okay? Now, we're almost done. The next thing I'm going to do is take a smaller brush. Let me see now. Perhaps my small stubby, or my medium stubby brush rather. I'm going to put in some nice bright whitey yellow here where the sun is. So I'm going to take some cadmium yellow, and I'm going to take lots of white. By the way, you could use lemon yellow for this. This would be a very good bright sun colour. I do have some lemon yellow there, but I'll be honest, I haven't used it in years, so I'm not too sure. Let's come in about here. Just go around in a circle. Pull your brush around the circles like this, look. Further out. Then let's give it a clean. And I'm using clean tissue for this because I want to keep this nice and bright. And I'm going to go with just white then on its own. So this will keep mixing now in with the yellow that's already there. And let's go with more white again. Right in the middle. Okay. So it's getting brighter and brighter. Now I know it is very bright up there, isn't it? So I might just take some white and a little yellow and put that very bright colour up here as well. And soften it away down. It's almost just a white, isn't it? And I can always kind of go over this again later, so not to worry. Seriously, don't worry too much about getting it absolutely perfect every time, because it doesn't. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, I'll take some more white. In fact, you know what I'm going to do now? Do you know what I'm going to do? Because I like to be unpredictable in the show. I don't like to show you every single thing as I'm going along. I'm going to take some lemon yellow. Let me see. Is this lemon yellow? I think this is lemon yellow. I can't see the name on the tube because it's covered in so much dirt. Okay? I'm going to take some lemon yellow, which I have for about, I must have this about 20 years, this tube here. That, lemon yellow, look at that. Let's put a little lemon yellow there. That's how old it is, and I've hardly ever used it, look. Let's try some lemon yellow with lots of white. Let's see what that does for this painting. Surely this will give it a nice bright glow. And of course I'm working wet into wet, so it's going to take time to really cover this. Now you see, I only want it in the section where the wave is coming up through it, you see. It doesn't matter if it's not absolutely perfect. Let me just stand back and take a look. Yeah? You see, it's only where the splash is coming up in front of it, that's the only place I want this very bright spot. So it doesn't matter even if it's not blended, it really doesn't matter. Let's try another tiny bit of lemon yellow with some white. And even, just on its own, a little dollop of white, just in the middle. Okay, that'll do fine. And I think that's our sky pretty much done. Actually no, let me do one more thing. You see over on the extreme left up on the sky, there are some lovely wispy clouds coming along. Let's throw a couple of those in, shall we? Come on. Let's have a bit of fun. Look, flat brush, a little bit of white, and let's just go wiggle, 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 and they're fading off into the distance. And if that dog don't stop barking next door, I'll go with a hose and I'll give him a good bath, a good shower. Right, let's go. One more, say here. And a couple in one. Oh, picked up some blue, just give it a clean, and what we'll do is with a clean dry brush just pull it off. Okay, clean dry brush and go back into some white. See, easy fix. And I'm thinking one more, perhaps just over here somewhere. And then let's soften these with a soft little blender brush, very gently. I'll leave some of them perhaps because they're quite nice. But it's an indication of the wind sort of blowing these clouds way, way off into the distance, high up in the atmosphere, you see? Now, okay, that's not bad, that'll do fine. I want to keep it simple. Right, here we go. Let's pull off the masking tape and reveal a lovely straight line. And look at that. Nice simple sky, not too much green, thankfully, but yeah, it's okay, we'll get away with it. Next job. There's a little bit of a dark watery section off in the distance, isn't there? I'm going to put that in, and really it's almost impossible to tell looking at the photograph what colour that ocean is. It's just a very dark, rich colour. So let me dampen my big brush here, and I think looking at that. I might go for some burnt umber, and I might take a little crimson in that, and I might take a touch of blue. Let me see. It's not really dark, is it? It's dark-ish. Perhaps a bit of magenta and a touch of Naples yellow, just to lighten it ever so slightly. Let me just check this now. The easiest way to get a nice straight line like this is to push down hard on your brush and bring it across then slowly. Let's try it, okay? Wish me luck. Now, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I might go a bit, touch of black in that, little bit, tiny bit of black. It's quite, I want it to be quite dark against the white, the bright kind of splash. Now we don't have to go all the way, we have a lot of splash in the centre, so it'll save us doing that anyway. I'm thinking perhaps a little touch of white, a touch of pink, and a touch of blue. So it's going to lighten very slightly now towards the other side. And let's go along here now with this. See, now let me just take a look at that. That's not a bad colour actually. You see, you kind of learn as you go. Pull that along there. That'll do fine. And you can maybe kind of, as it comes in further, add a little bit more white to the mix and perhaps a little bit more pink. So it's getting lighter as it comes across and the sun is hitting the water. Okay. I'm going to lighten it here as well. I'm going to take a little burnt sienna and some Naples yellow, and I'm going to lighten it just a little. And I might even go a little bit brighter with it. A little bit of cadmium yellow, a little touch of red. So as it gets further kind of in towards the sun, it's kind of warming and lightening at the same time. Understand what I mean? Okay, let me take a look at this. You see, you can only see a tiny bit of this off in the distance. Most of this is covered by water and splash and all that kind of thing. So really, you don't have to be too worried about getting this absolutely right. I'll be quite honest, I'm probably even overdoing it. I don't need to. So seriously, you don't have to go crazy with this. Take a little bit, tiny bit of yellow and some Naples yellow and just go along under that sun. Clean your brush and put it across the other way. Right. I'm thinking that will do for now. I'm thinking yes. Right. What's next? Now what I might do is I might draw very quickly with a pencil. So the splash just kind of comes around like that, moves up out of the painting like that, and it comes up like that, and there's not much of the ocean showing really. Over here, you probably can't see this, but I can. It's just a guide. And yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Next, I might just paint, or I'll just draw what this big rock is here. We have one big black rock, and it comes up like that, and it turns, And there's another one behind it. And it's just to show you where to stop the water, that's all. Now we have another big one, which comes along like that. And this one comes along like that. And more rocks here. And we have more rocks along here, all the way along. So this is now all my water, where it's turning and whatnot, okay? Splashing in. Let's get that done, shall we? And that would make a nice part one then for the video, I think. So I'm thinking now, brush. I'm thinking a rough brush for this. Let me have a look here now, to see what brushes I have. I could use this very rough medium brush, or I could use something like this. I don't want to use something too hard, because if you use something very hard like a bristle, you're scraping the paint off as you go. Do you understand? I want to get the paint to stick and cover really well. So something nice and soft. This is nice and soft, now I like this, okay? I'm going to start off with a nice warm, a mauvey kind of a pinkish mauvey colour. Let me dampen my brush here. Just dampen it, give it a dry. Let's get some red, some crimson, little tiny bit of magenta, and a little bit of blue. Tiny bit of blue. Okay? A bit of white mixed in. I like to use the white just to make it thick and pasty. That helps it cover. So what I do is take a bit of white first even, and then go into your colours. So let's take a bit of blue, and let's take a bit of crimson. So do you understand? It makes it nice and thick and creamy for covering the canvas properly. Let's take a bit more blue in that. And I'm going to paint the shadow side of the wave, okay, of the splash. Now let me perhaps take a tiny bit more crimson. It's not as blue, I think it's a little bit more on the red side, so like a kind of a plummy kind of a red. So I'm going for that colour. There, that's not too bad. And I can kind of see that colour. Let me just have a look at this now first. See, I'm looking at the photograph, looking at this. A bit more pink, would you reckon? Come on, you tell me now what you think. A little bit more pink, says you. It's not bad. It's not bad. Tiny bit of Naples yellow perhaps. I'm just going to go along now, and I'm going to paint in most of this sort of pinky colour. Relatively pink, we say. Let's just say it's relatively pink. A little bit of pink. And let's add a bit of white into that. Let's take a touch of crimson again. Now as it comes kind of nearer the sun, it will really lighten. So I'm going to take some more Naples yellow and a bit of white. So it does really kind of tend to lighten as it comes near. And I'm not doing any particular technique now, to be quite honest. I'm just kind of flicking the brush around here and there, just to sort of merge the paint together, but not too much. Does that make sense? You see? As it comes up, you can even just kind of dab. And you see what's happening now is brilliant, because we're dealing with oils. The paint, that brown paint there is nice and wet, okay? And I'm thinking I might actually zoom in. Will I zoom in very slightly? Just to show you. Let me have a look there and see. Okay, I'm going to zoom in very, very slightly now, alright? Just so you can get a better view of what I'm doing here. Now, I apologise if you see my face sticking into the camera, into the shot, but it's just because I'm leaning across to get paint, alright? Let me just go again with that. Now, so because it's wet, I'm picking up, as you dab on the brown, you pick up the brown, and you start bringing the brown up into the painting as well, you see? Isn't that just fantastic? Look at that. So it's picking up the brown, and it's creating all new kinds of colours. Isn't that amazing? And it's kind of graduating then itself. So you see, if this was acrylics now, this would be much more difficult because the brown would be dry and you wouldn't have all these lovely wonderful colours mixing together on the canvas. Now, alright, I know acrylics do have their advantages that they dry so quickly, but it's very difficult to get certain techniques with acrylics, which you can only get with oils. Now, so look, we have this anyway done, and what you can do is just dab, 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 dab. This is like the shadowy colour, which I have done. You can even just dab all that together now nicely there. Okay. There we go. So you can see now, we're getting there slowly. And then, I'm going to start lightening it. So I'm going to clean my brush just very quickly. And I'm going to go to a more kind of a yellowy, kind of an orangey sort of a colour. So I'll take some cadmium yellow, some crimson, some naples yellow. Now I might go more crimson in this than anything else, and then take a bit of white. So I have a very kind of an orangey sort of a colour here now. Let me just check now before I proceed. Yeah, that's not bad. So we've like kind of an orangey colour coming into this, and the orange will mix nicely with that kind of pinky, violety sort of a colour because they complement. Okay. And let's just kind of bring that colour down into it here, and then we have a bit kind of come to cross. Now I don't want it to go in muddy, so I'm going to add a little touch of pink into that, just to stop it from going muddy. All right. I don't want mud on my painting. I'll take a little white with a little dab of crimson, and that should help control the colours. Okay. Let me take a quick look here and I'll see how I'm getting on. I'm going to bring that nice orangey colour up here and around, or sort of into the sun a little. And all I'm doing is just dabbing kind of randomly with my brush. And now there's a bit of kind of a browny hue going on up here. I'm going to go right up here with that, look. That was just the orangey colour that we had earlier on our palette. I might take actually a little bit of cadmium yellow and a little bit more crimson and make it nice and rich just in the shadow of the sun here. And take a bit more yellow even. So now you can see how I'm doing it. I'm just kind of alternating between colour. I'm picking up little dabs of this and little dabs of that. That's all I'm doing. And some of those dabs will be very dark, some of them will be very light. It's changing as you go, that's all. And this is really very early stages now, don't worry. Okay, I'm going to start adding some little bits of light colour here and there to this, alright? I'm going to take some white, and I'm going to take some crimson, a little bit of white, a little bit of crimson, and I might take a touch of naples yellow, just the smallest little touch. I'm just going to start adding some light hitting this, okay? And I'm very gently dabbing, just dab, 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 dab. That's all it is. Just a little bit kind of here and there, see? Where the sun is sort of catching the splash. And then I might take a hint of cadmium yellow, a tiny hint of cadmium yellow with some white, and a tiny, tiny hint of pink in that. And I might just go along then with that colour here and there. So it's kind of, you can see the way the light is sort of hitting the wave here and there, or should I say the splash. And then we're going to have some dark patches in here as well. So you can see I really want to take my time with this. I want to get it nice. I'm going to take some crimson, some blue, and I might take a touch of brown, touch of burnt umber there as well, making a very warm, rich, dark, warm colour. I'm going to go down here and introduce a little bit of dark here and there. Look, all right. Just for a bit of shadow, that's all. Because it needs, I think it needs a nice warm shadow down there. I might take a hint of black in that. I'm going to bring it up there very slightly. And then it's a case of just dabbing. Just dabbing all that, kind of merging it together, you see? Dab, 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 dab. And that just gives it that very rough kind of tumbling look, that's all. And I might just add a little bit more blue then, just down at the very bottom, just here and there. A little phaylo blue into that mix. Perhaps even a touch of black, okay? So a really dark colour, just right down here and there in the bottom. See? Perhaps just a little here and there. And yeah, I think that is pretty good. So I know now we've kind of spent a long time on one section, but you know, I do love painting simple, easy landscapes every now and again. But you know, there are some times where I'm just itching to do something that's really, really detailed and just really kind of show off my kind of my gift as well. Do you understand what I mean? I like doing something like that as well every now and again. Really kind of show off what I really can do if I really put my mind to it, and you can do the same. It's just about taking your time. That's all it is. Just take your time and let it happen. And look, you might not like a certain part of the painting, or you might not like a certain colour. Just go over it with your brush. That's all you have to do. Just go over it. The most important thing is just have a little fun when you're painting. That's what I think is probably the key to being a happy artist. Just, you know, accept what you can do and be happy with what you can do. Of course you can always improve, but don't beat yourself up if you make a mistake or if you feel that you can't do something as good as somebody else. It will come in time, don't worry. We all have to practice, even, and we have to learn. Even the masters have to learn as well, don't they? We're not going to learn everything overnight, are we? Let me just go along here, look. I'm just kind of making it my own as now a little bit as well. I'm not kind of too worried about making it look exactly like the painting. I'm not too worried at all. It'll be what it'll be. Do you know? Let's bring some of that across there. We can use our fan brush as well in a moment. Get some nice colours with that, nice little dabs of spots of colour with that as well. Okay, a little bit more of that colour up there. As I go closer to the sun, I want to make it a nice warm colour. Do you understand? Nice yellowy, kind of rich yellowy orangey sort of a colour. Now, let me just sit back for a moment, a brief moment, and let me take a look at this. Okay, I might go a bit darker with some of it. I might take a little burnt umber, and I might take a little touch of crimson as well, and a touch of black. Because I can see some nice rich dark colours in there. Okay, a bit more crimson perhaps. And one or two back here. And let's get one or two darks over here. And to be honest now, like I really have no idea how this is going to turn out. It may turn out absolutely rubbish, but I don't care. I'm just going to try it and see what happens. And that's the honest truth. I'm just going to try it, because the minute I saw this on Facebook, and I thought to myself, yeah, this is one that I will definitely have to try, because I'm kind of challenging myself now as well at the same time. Very light dabs now coming out into the sky there, okay? Just to show that it's really going very far up. Okay, let me stop at that for now, and I'm just going to add a little bit of light here and there on the top of this section. I see a very bright light over there, so I'm going to take a little bit of white, a little bit of blue, and I'm going to just suggest that kind of turning down there, that light colour, and I'm going to suggest it behind the rock here as well, a bit of light, and coming over here. All I'm kind of doing is I'm sort of flicking my brush around in kind of a semicircle. See? That's all. I'll take another bit, a little bit more of the blue perhaps. I'm just going to come along here and over here like this, you see? Okay. And I'll take a little tiny piece of magenta with white, and I can see a lovely kind of a pink here. Okay, so that's all kind of looking pretty nice now, isn't it? Now, okay, shall we take a look at this now and see how it's going? Or will we just continue on all the way across with this? Let's continue on. Let me check the time on the camera there now just for a moment. Let me see what we're looking like. That's quite nice. We've 50 minutes left. I'll go for another 10 or 15 minutes. We'll finish this, I think, and we call it part one finished, yes? Because this is really fun. I'm really enjoying this now, I have to say. And it's nice to just relax and take our time as well, isn't it? Not having to kind of rush along to finish a tutorial. Right, let's get some phaylo blue, some crimson, and a touch of magenta. And that will give us a nice mauvey sort of a colour. And let's go a bit more white, a bit more magenta. And the magenta is more of a cool colour rather than the crimson. So yeah, I'm thinking that's not bad. Let's go along and fill this in. A little bit more magenta. Scrub that along. See, not too fussy. Let me take a touch of crimson in there, perhaps with a touch of white. I tend to kind of do that a lot as I paint along. I change the colours as I'm going. I think rather than just painting the whole thing in just one solid colour, it's much more natural, I find, to kind of add little bits of colour as you go. Understand? Now I've a bit of a cliff out there, but I think I'll just leave the cliff out. Doesn't have to be put in, does it? Think, does it? tell me, what do you think? I think we'll leave it out. So we have the basic kind of colour that we're looking for there now. I start adding some darker colours to this now, okay? So let's get some blue, and I'm going to take a touch of crimson, perhaps a touch of brown. Now, I know the brown will make it that little bit greeny, but that's okay, just a little bit just there, look. And take a little bit of crimson in that, perhaps a little bit of black, and we put that nice dark colour kind of towards the bottom half, if you like, kind of down on the bottom half. And as well as that now, I'm going to start adding a little crimson with sienna, because there's that nice sort of a warm tone going through it. You see what I mean? I'm just sort of adding it here and there. Let me see. I'll try some crimson with a touch of yellow. And I put that along just on top. What I'm trying to do is kind of pick up some of the sky colours. Now I'm just going to start kind of blending all of this together. And the way I'm doing that is, I'm doing again little semicircles, you see, I'm flicking like this. So I'm kind of dragging one colour down into the next, and so on. Now can you see, can't even see what I'm doing, can you? Let me zoom back there slightly. Now, there we go. Better idea now, don't you? Let it all kind of turn downwards. There we go. Alright. And you can start even dabbing some of that colour, sort of dab it along. So it's all kind of merging together then, isn't it? As one. Now, next job is to add some really bright highlights to the top of this. And I suppose the best way of doing that is, with a nice clean brush, let's take some white, and let's go down and take some cadmium yellow and a touch of crimson. And that will give us a nice bright whitey highlight, but it won't be a yellowy highlight, you understand what I mean? Let me just go along now and have a look at that. So the bit of pink in this will just help kind of warm it slightly. I'll take a tiny bit more pink. Tiny little bit. As I go along, it's going to just get a bit more pink. Okay, you can see, I'm just glancing at the photograph back and forth. Okay, you stop now and take a look at that. That's not bad. That's not bad. Let's go a bit more again. Get some yellow with some white. And it's really bright over here, isn't it? Let's try that again. Let's get some more white, a little dollop of yellow, and let's kind of go down here now and bring it down and create some little bit of form in the water, okay? It's kind of turning and coming down. Now, alright, you see that we're going here now. Okay, a little bit of pink I think, a little bit of crimson, plenty of white, and we'll add a little bit of that pink kind of around here, and a little bit there. See, they're quite nice. I'll take a little bit of white, maybe with some light blue, and I might start adding a little bit of movement to the water just around here and there, okay? So it's kind of changing as it goes along. I might look at this later now and decide I don't like that or I don't like this, and I might start taking stuff out or changing stuff around, you know, but that's the beauty of painting. You can change whatever you like, it will keep evolving all the time. I might take a bit of a pinky colour down there. Now, I'm thinking what I might try is I might try softening some of these together, just to make it a little softer, just towards the bottom. And I might try dabbing then with the fan brush. I might try dabbing around the top. Okay? So I'll go along there with my fan brush and try dabbing, okay? And I might even take a kind of a peppering of white here and there. You see what I mean? And I think that's a little bit better. Yeah, give it a bit of a peppering. Isn't that right? And we can go up here and give the same with this. So this is kind of catching the light over here. Okay, nice, very bright kind of whitey yellow just around here, isn't there? And we'll do the same, maybe add a few little highlights here and there in that. Very kind of bright. There's a lot of yellow actually in that, isn't there? There's a lot of yellow kind of just here and there. No. So let me just sit back now. I might just sit back now for a moment and kind of have a look at this. I don't want to rush into it too much. So let me just soften these out just very slightly here for a moment. And I might add a little dark, perhaps just here and there, down in that section. I have to go darker than that, I would say. A little bit of brown perhaps and a bit of black. And then soften it out very slightly. Oh, there we go. Okay, stand back and take a look. Now, yeah, I'm fairly happy with that for now. We can work a bit more on the sun, should we need to, and the splash as well also. I know there's a lot more splash on the photograph, and we will go a bit higher with that, I think, in the next stage. But let's just go in now and have a look at what we've done so far, yeah? Part 1. I hope you've enjoyed this. So some nice splash, keep it nice and simple. I will add some finer details with the little pointy brush. In fact, you know what, I'll show you there. Let's just take a pointy brush, right? A nice small pointy brush. That. There's one here. Okay. let's just get some nice warm, rich, dark colour for a moment. And you could even put some more solid little flicks of colour. Okay, here and there, you see. Do you understand what I mean? You can do that too. And even over here as well, look. That's quite nice, isn't it? And you could even put a couple down into the darker areas. So you see, you can add little bits to it as you go. It's up to yourself. You don't have to if you don't want to. But you know, just be careful not to overdo this type of thing. There we are, a couple of spots. A couple of tiny spots here and there. Okay? And there we go. And that, my friends, is the end of part 1. Okay? I hope you enjoyed that. Let me turn her up here. That was really fun. I'm looking forward to doing part 2. I really can't wait. It's getting quite late now, so I will. Let me turn that all the way back. It is. I will tidy up here, come back in the morning, finish part 2, and I will upload that then, perhaps next week. Is that alright? I hope you don't mind, and I hope you've learned a thing or two. Okay? Let me know what you think, and get your stuff and get painting. Don't be afraid of making a mistake. I can already see a couple of little mistakes there now that I might change and add to. I'd add a little bit of brightness to the water, I think. More rough sort of a feeling. But yes, I'll do that next week, and we'll see how it all goes. Okay? Go on, I'll see you later. Thank you very much for watching, and have fun painting.